Hello guys, it's me, I'm Radek from Dwombly. Today we will be talking about serverless. Like not only serverless as a serverless computing, but everything about serverless. If you like the video, remember about thumb up, about subscribing the channel and turning on notifications, and you can share the video with your friends to show the serverless to everybody. It's really cool stuff. Hi again, it's me, I'm Radek from Dwombly. Did you know you can save even 90% of the IT infrastructure costs? You can reduce the risks and improve security of whole IT infrastructure. Are you curious how to do it? Are you curious what is serverless? In today's episode, I will tell you everything that you should know as a beginner into the serverless computing. I will tell you when it's good to use serverless, why it's good to use it. I will tell you what are the most popular tools that can help you implement serverless into your company, and I will tell you about some cons about serverless as well, so you will know when serverless is not the best case. In a lot of cases it is a great idea, but sometimes it's not. Are you ready to start? Let's go!
Serverless computing is a FaaS, function as a service model of backend type service that is provided in cloud on demand. It means physically there still is backend in usage, but you do not need to buy the whole server. For the whole month, configure that and be responsible for the server security. Instead of that, you can just upload a written code for your backend and pay just for the time when functions of your code are executed. Serverless architecture is a software or architecture design pattern where we relay parts of our project on serverless computing. In this case, we do not need to maintain the whole IT infrastructure. We do not need to maintain servers and databases, because in theory we do not have them. We just use maintained solutions packed into AWS services. We do not need to scale our projects manually, like buying more instances or migrating to the bigger ones. AWS can provide auto-scalability, for example. And every part of our infrastructure can be scalable, secure and comfortable to maintain when we need more features. We can just develop and deploy the next service. Serverless computing works a bit differently than standard servers that we used to use for backend. When with regular servers, we rent the instance, and if we want to have our service available, always we need to pay for the whole month, like 24 hours per day. It does not matter if we use it or no. With the serverless, we do pay only for the time when we execute our code. If we have only a few visitors in, for example, today, we pay only for the X minutes or hours when they use our service. In many projects, the cost reduction can be even up to 90%. But still, we need to know in some cases when we have very stable traffic that we can precisely predict for the whole month, the serverless could be much more expensive. Maybe not much, but still it can be more expensive. Anyway, it's not so common when we have a similar numbers of users every minute, and most projects have peaks of traffic at some hour. so we would need to buy a bigger server only to handle the traffic peak. Of course, the cost is a critical metric when we plan our IT projects, but the money is not only one benefit when we talk about serverless. Security is the next benefit that we should see when we consider this type of architecture. Still, we have a lot to do with security, but much less than when we go with standard servers. For example, with serverless, the system security is on the service provider, not on us. That is a huge amount of work we can have solved already. The next thing that I would like to tell you about is the scalability and simplicity of deployment. About deployment, I will tell you more in the next sections. With serverless, we do not need to care about scalability that much, because if we have more traffic, we just have a bigger invoice to pay. We do not need to care about buying more bigger instances and configure them. Do you think setting up a whole IT infrastructure for the company is difficult and requires a lot of work? Not anymore, actually. Meet the real hero of modern IT, the AWS Cloud Formation. AWS Cloud Formation is a service that allows you to generate the whole infrastructure. Yes, all backend services, databases, file storage, API, and even firewalls. And actually, even we can deploy our software by a few clicks, not only create. We can use Serverless Framework or AWS SAM to generate the AWS Cloud Formation template. Just one YAML config file. When we put all the config inside the YAML, and that's it. So when our infrastructure will be auto-generated for us, you do not need to spend money and time on advanced DevOps. Serverless Framework is the open source framework written by Austin Collins in Node. It helps you to template, develop, build and deploy whole serverless infrastructure. With Serverless Framework, you can build not only AWS serverless applications, but also use other service providers like Google Cloud, Oracle, or for example Microsoft Azure. There is some more. To define the infrastructure with Serverless Framework, we use YAML templates and define the structure like in the example here. It's not whole of the template. For whole, you need to go into our blog and there you will be able to copy whole template and use in your project. AWS SAM, Serverless Application Model, is a very similar tool like Serverless Framework. Like the Serverless Framework, the Serverless Application Model is an open source framework that can let us build the serverless infrastructure. As well as the Serverless Framework, the SAM uses YAML templating system. There are a few differences between them because the Serverless Framework was designed to deploy the FAAC, like this function as a service, and AWS SAM was designed to help us build the whole infrastructure. Still, with Serverless Framework you can do that now. And here you can see the SAM template example of Node.js REST API with DynamoDB. Still, it's not whole of them. You can go into our blog and there you will be able to copy and use whole the template that it will work. We know about many benefits of the serverless, but are there any cons or problems? I would say yes, there are a few. The first one you need to know is the initial latency, like cold start, which can affect performance about the cold start. The second one is the whole infrastructure security. If many components rely on each other, you need to care about not adding security holes between them. You have much more components to maintain. Of course, they are smaller, so in many cases it's big benefit. And the next one is we depend on the service provider. It means our whole infrastructure is based on one service provider, like for example Amazon or Microsoft or Google, and there are not so many alternatives for the future. I hope they will come, but now it's only few providers that you can use. It's not like with normal servers. You can buy just server wherever you would like to do, or set up even your own in home from a Raspberry Pi if you really need.
Congratulations! Now you know what is serverless, when use it, what is serverless framework, what is serverless computing, what is Amazon SAM, and what is Cloud Formation. I hope this knowledge is really valuable for you, and in the next episodes I will show you some tutorials how we can prepare simple serverless structure, how we can connect the backend with frontend, with databases, and how we can deploy it. If you like the video, remember about thumb up, about subscribing our channel, turning on notifications, and to showing the serverless idea to your friends. I would say it's really important to let people know how we can improve our backend whole IT infrastructure. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!